Greetings. It is Brother Man Trucking. The question comes in, Brother Man, how does one make a profit as a spot market warrior in this current environment? I'm paraphrasing. I don't have a direct answer for that. I have multiple answers, but I don't have a direct answer for that. The first answer is a stock textbook answer. Well, you just got to work hard at it. Oh, okay. Just got to work hard at it. All right. The second answer is a little bit more detailed. Now, I'm going to answer this with stories. So just look at it as entertainment. First up, this is a true story. When I was when I was driving a triaxle dump truck, this was back around 2004, 2005, somewhere around that, probably about 20 years ago. I was hauling millings. We were on a job site. They were milling up the road or parking lot, whatever it was, and putting the millings into the dump truck. It was getting to the end of the day, and the foreman of the job came up and said he actually worked for the company that, we were milling for, because they had the road division, then they had the transportation division. He was like, hey, I need up the road, I need some millings. You can dump them off at my house. I'll give you $100 for them. Now, hold on a second. How much is a truckload of millings? I don't know about back then, but now it's probably, I would say, maybe $300-$400 for a 23 ton of millings, delivered to your location. It was probably close to the same back then, somewhere, give or take, maybe, $50, $75, $100 or so. So he's looking to get a load of millings from the job site to his place on the company's dime for $100. Okay? I politely declined. I said, no, I'm good. I got to get back. I'm running out of time. My time is just about up, and I got to get back to the yard to park the truck. Oh, okay. All right. Now, could I have used $100? Of course I could have used $100. Shoot, I can use $100 right now. So that's a true story. Next one. Now, fast forward to a few years ago. I'm driving. I bought the reefer trailer. It was a spread axle reefer trailer. And what's a spread axle? Okay, for those of you that don't know, which is all right. Okay, I know these are square. Picture these are wheels. So you see the box trailers, and they have the wheels. They call it tandems that are together like this. Well, the spread axle, the back wheels are spread out like this. You had a 10-foot, 12-foot spread like this. So that's a spread axle. So I got hooked up with this broker, and I hauled a lot of beer in that trailer. I didn't say that, put that on the interwebs, when I was doing it, because I didn't want nobody to break into the trailer or anything like that, if they saw it setting or anything. So a couple years ago, I sold that trailer. So I don't own the trailer no more. So anyway, back to the broker. So the broker said, hey, I got loads out of this place going up to this place. We negotiated a price. It was somewhere between $800 to $1,000, depending on the day, depending on how much money the broker wanted to give the carrier. So now the things with these loads they were beer loads. So they were heavy. So the loads were probably 44.5 to 45,000 in weight. Well, with my setup, I was probably only good for maybe 43.5, something like that. But when I went there, I told them put the 45,000 pounds in there. Yeah, go ahead and put it in there. Shoot, I got some make-believe overweight permits. We're good. So, I didn't pass no scales along the way. I know how to get around if there was one in the way. So you get what I'm saying? So maybe you don't. This is all entertainment. It's all make-believe fairy tale stuff. So back to the beer. So, and I'll talk about costs as well in this part. So the beer cost, the fee that I charge them it was around $800 to $1,000 on 150 miles. That was 150 loaded miles. After it was all said and done, it was almost 300 miles. By the time, deadhead down there to up to the shipper and then back. And most of the time, you had to deliver the following day. So within a 24-hour period, the truck was grossing somewhere between $800 to $1,000. $200 into the tank for fuel. Then that leaves me with $600 for the rest, for a 24-hour period. Was not great money, was average money, right? So you're not getting that today. So, and with the cost of everything going up, this kind of ties into that, this ties into that previous video about making a profit. Fuel was not $4.75 a gallon back then. It was in the $3 range, okay? So you get what I'm saying? So turning a profit right now, doing that type of work, it's hard because of the cost. Now, let's continue. Just to give you a little background and putting some pieces together about why I said what I said in the previous video. So, well, how many miles was it? It doesn't go by, I'm local. I run short hauls. So we go by the day. If you can gross out at $1,000 a day, you're doing very well. Especially if you don't have any overhead truck payment, insurance payment, and stuff like that. I'm digressing because, the newer business owner-operators, they need to hear this, so they can start crunching numbers and see, wait a minute, I'm losing money doing this shit. I'm trying to tell you, right? So now we'll go on to the make-believe stories. So I was at a tire shop one day, and this was years ago, like 20 years ago, about 20 years ago or so. I'm at a tire shop one day, and I would always see these guys. I'm not going to say what industry it was. I would always see these guys, running up and down the road, and so on and so forth. We would pass the same people all the time. So he was getting the tire on a piece of his equipment, and we got to talking, and then I don't even know how we got on this conversation, and he got loaded out of a big city, and he brought the freight down towards this area. Well, besides the freight that he was contracted for, we'll just say that he was contracted for, he had another shipper that he worked for off the books. We'll leave it like that. And that's where he made his money. So you had your contracted bread and butter money, and then you had another shipper that shipped stuff from big city to rural area. This is entertainment. I can't confirm nor deny any of this stuff. All this stuff is hearsay. Next up, I was had to get my IRP, my plate for my truck. Standing up at the PennDOT office, we stood out there for 5 hours. I think it was 5 hours until we get up to we get closer up to where they start receiving you. And they was like, oh, we're done for today. Send an email, come back tomorrow. What? Yeah. So in the meantime, while we're standing there, I was standing next to three other guys. And we were just talking like he, ha, and kikiing and stuff. And the one guy, older Italian guy, not that his nationality has anything to do with it. Older Italian, he was really laid back, pretty cool. And we were talking and stuff. He's like, his operation, he drove reefer freight or delivered reefer freight. He had a 2019 Kenworth, nice looking setup and everything. And he would go out over the road for a couple weeks, then he would come home. If that's your lifestyle, have at it. I mean, I stayed out in the truck all week. Um, I put my time in. So we were talking, and somehow, I don't even know how the conversation come up. He told me that he got free. I'm trying to water this stuff down. He told me, but it's all make believe. It's entertainment. He would get loaded out of country with produce he would get loaded out of country with produce, and he would bring produce back to the United States. Don't even worry about it. I don't know. Just make believe. Yeah, I don't know where he took it to. Well, while he was getting loaded with the produce out of state somewhere, out of the country somewhere where it's warm, he met up with some people. Another shipper. We'll just call them another shipper. And they loaded this product on his truck. And aside from the produce that he had another product from another shipper that he would bring back into the United States. So, because you put this information out there, I'm talking, in my mind, talking to this guy, he don't know me, I'm going to ask questions. So I said, oh yeah, so how much you make doing that? And not that I have no desire to do that. I'm just curious because you're going to put the information out there. I'm going to ask questions. So he looked at me, and you can see the wheels turning in his head. He's like, this guy really asked me that. Is he a Fed? I don't know this guy. So his response was, I'm driving a 2019 Kenworth. Oh, it was sharp too. It was done up tastefully. It wasn't a whole bunch of, like back in the day, you got a beater car and you go through Pep Boys or the auto parts store, with the fix up stuff for the magnet, just, down the aisle. It didn't look like that. It was, it was sharp, very clean looking. He says, I drive a 2019 Kenworth W900L. I was like, cool. I was just asking. You put the information out there. So that's one thing. So that's the second part of the answer. So you take whatever you want from it. I don't condone anything, outside of, the current regulations and stuff like that. Because we're upstanding people and we just need to work hard and get it done.